Conference, which is a conference of alternative religions and earth-based religions, and a variety of different groups are here. And luckily, also here are some very old and good friends of mine. Old as in like how long I've known them, not in age. Gypsey and Marla, I've known them 20 years, and Gypsy is here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the mission of their farm, and then do a really cool demonstration. Okay, go.
Hey there, this is Gypsy from Gundayan. Gundayan is an agro-educational Icelandic complex and farm in Callahan, Florida. It's our attempt to teach all things Icelandic. To that end, in the next couple of years, we're going to get in Icelandic sheep for shearing and weaving. We're going to get our own dyes in so that we can do actual period weaving and teach that. Yay, dyes. We're going to join the Heritage Conservancy for Icelandic chickens, sell Icelandic chicks because they're threatened, but also give away as many as we can to PTSD veteran groups so that we can continue to take them off the threatened list. We're also going to have crops. I do blacksmithing, so we're going to be teaching knives and axes and blacksmithing, leather, wood, and other things Icelandic. So if you're in the Callahan area, we will be open after Yule. Our website is gypsyteague.com, and this young lady on the other side of the camera will post it, and you can follow us. You can also follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, or YouTube, where we have our own YouTube channel.
I'll put all those links.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Hey there. Okay, we're going to talk about Viking flatbraid weaving. About 1,000 years ago, a lady died. I know a lot of people died 1,000 years ago, but this woman was special because she was rich and she was famous. We don't know her name, but she died with brooches and Viking trim on her. 1,000 years later, she was dug up, and that little piece of trim found its way to specialists of trim. One of those is a lady named Lone Bromska, who teaches at the Viking fortress in Trelleborg, Zealand. She developed, through reverse engineering, a loom that makes that trim. Now, no loom ever existed for this trim because what they would do is tie it to a tree or something, and they would just do it with their fingers. However, Lone and her husband decided they needed a way to teach it. I got lucky enough to be in contact with her, became friends with her, and now I make and teach this type of weaving. So now we're going to weave. For those of you that are weavers, most of you know there's a warp and there's a weft. There is no weft in this. In theory, this is all warp. However, these 5 outliers also become your weft. So when you're doing this, make sure that these 5 are always the same color. This pseudo weft out here, you take these 2, you fold it in, and then you go under every other one. And this little warp has now been elevated to a giant weft. You know that you're correct when you're done. Come on, baby. Come on, spin, spin. Because if you end with the second to the last, you go under, and now that warp is a weft. Tighten it. And this weft drops into the blank spot and becomes a warp. You do this back and forth a few 100,000 times, and you get 20 feet of trim. Now the nice thing about this trim is you can tie and fold under knots and never see it. So you can, in theory, have a unlimited length of perfect trim that just keeps going. Or you can change it in mid-stride and have all sorts of fun things. Cool. I have other examples of smaller trim that I've done on one of my other smaller flatbraid looms. This is $6 worth of embroidery floss. So you're making 20 feet at a time. So until tomorrow, I'll catch you on the flip side.
Thanks, Gypsy.